Transfer news today. FSG documentary drops on Netflix. John Henry slammed and Liverpool Wonderkid. Welcome to l.f.c Transfer Daily News. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Amazing Liverpool Wonderkid proves he is ready to compete with Mo Salah and Luis Diaz. Liverpool youngster Ben Doak may be out on loan for the season, but he is already showing he can threaten Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo for a place on the wing. Since then, he has had to undergo surgery on his knee, which has meant any further first-team appearances were few and far between, mostly limited to showings in pre-season. The same was true of the summer just gone, and at the end of the window the now 18-year-old Doak was loaned out to Championship club Middlesbrough. With the score level at 1-1, Doak carried the ball from near his own penalty area into the Norwich half, shrugging off attempts to pull him back on the way. The counter was capped off in a goal which, whilst not credited with the assist, was mostly thanks to Doak. The same was true of the third Middlesbrough goal, in which a strike parried to the young Scotsman was then fired back across the 6-yard line for a tap-in. Again, not credited with the assist, but all thanks to the man on loan from Liverpool. Very soon it could be so that Doak will be competing with not just Salah for that right-winger role but also pushing Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo on the other side. That two-sidedness to his game will be a hugely important factor in his ability to increase his minutes in the first team. With the way he is going, he will clearly be ready to make the step up to Slot's squad very soon. This just goes to show that Doak has the capability of playing on both wings, something he has already shown in his brief appearances for the Scottish national team, and something which should be causing the more established wingers at Liverpool to be looking over their shoulders, already earning rave reviews from the Borough faithful for his eye-catching displays thus far in the northeast. He went one better yesterday during a storming 3-3 draw away to Norwich at Carrow Road. There was a lot of hype around Doak when he signed as a 16-year-old from Celtic back in March 2022, and by the end of the calendar year he had become the youngest Scottish player to ever appear in a Premier League game when he was introduced as a late substitute away to Aston Villa at Christmas time. John Henry slammed as FSG documentary released on Netflix. Liverpool owner John Henry has been the subject of vociferous criticism in light of a new Netflix documentary. Henry has been no stranger to criticism in his 14 years as owner of the Reds, from attempts to raise ticket prices to trying to trademark the name of the city and the European Super League debacle. However, Henry and the ownership have each time relented and backed away from these ill-conceived notions. There is also a perceived lack of investment from Henry and Fenway Sports Group, given their practice of operating Liverpool in a self-sustaining model which can oftentimes appear to leave them left behind by the spending of their rivals, particularly when it comes to the transfer market. Now Henry is getting it in the neck from fans of one of the other sports teams FSG own, baseball's Boston Red Sox. In a review of the recent Netflix documentary The Comeback, which celebrates the Red Sox's famous 2004 World Series win, Henry is singled out for the biggest criticisms. John Henry slammed after Netflix documentary. Despite his famously reticent nature to make appearances on camera, Henry does actually participate in the documentary, but reviewer Katie Manganelli was still scathing in her appraisal of his participation. Citing an obsession with profit over competing for major honors, the ownership and Henry are accused of no longer caring about the Red Sox, merely seeing the team as an asset in FSG's portfolio. He showed genuine care for the 2004 Red Sox in his interview portion of the series, but that passion has devolved into an obsession with Fenway Sports Group's bottom line, the reviewer writes. The Red Sox aren't so much a victim of their own success as Henry is a victim of greed. Success in Boston used to be a top priority, but the Sox have fallen out of favor and become an asset in FSG's portfolio. The Red Sox aren't so much a victim of their own success as Henry is a victim of greed. Similarities between the Red Sox and Liverpool are striking. Both were bought by FSG when at a low point in their history, enjoyed a period of strong success and have consistently had fans complaining about the supposedly spendthrift nature of the ownership despite still competing at the top level. What might worry Reds a little more is that in the past few seasons FSG have cut costs in Boston even further, leading to mediocre on-field performance and a failure to compete for the biggest honors. Arne Slot reveals why Liverpool are heading towards a crisis. Arsenal spent the weekend complaining about an impending injury crisis threatening to derail their entire season, but in the end it emerged that Liverpool are the banged-up side. Arne Slot's men are in the midst of a relentless period, facing Brighton twice in the next 4 days, without key members of the starting 11. In his pre-match press conference on Tuesday, Slot confirmed that the majority of them would be missing out again. Only Connor Bradley is currently training with the team and he is expected to feature in the squad for the League Cup game tomorrow evening at the Amex. This comes as a huge blow as, when asked if he expected Jota to return before the international break in the middle of November, Slot replied, no, and Elliott the same. With Jota being Liverpool's starting centre-forward this season, there is understandably annoyance on the part of all Reds here. It seems likely that Darwin Núñez will retain his place in Liverpool's attack as a result. Diogo Jota, Alisson, Federico Chiesa, Connor Bradley and Harvey Elliott all missed out at the Emirates for the weekend draw against the Gunners. Núñez's spirits will be lifted by a goal and an assist in the past week against RB Leipzig and Arsenal. He was a welcome sight at the Emirates, being arguably Liverpool's hardest working player. It does, however, intensify the necessity of a rumoured signing such as Omar Marmoush in the position to come to fruition. Fresh Chiesa injury blow. On Chiesa, Slot's message was perplexing. It's difficult to say when he'll return, because he goes a bit up and down, the Dutch coach replied. Sometimes trains with us and then goes out with an injury again. This will be just as frustrating for Liverpool's new head coach as it is for fans. The Italian was meant to be an unpredictable addition, able to fill in for talisman Mo Salah on the right or play through the middle if necessary. Instead, his Liverpool career has taken on a Thiago-like trajectory early on. It also makes fans question the strategy of the higher-ups. £12 million was seen as a bargain for a player of his quality, but the rumours are that Juventus were willing to agree to a cut-price deal due to Chiesa's inability to stay fit. There is already talk that he may be loaned back to Italy in January, and sporting director Richard Hughes has questions to answer. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.